Howdy, howdy.
Ah, howdy, my friend. You know what's funny?
Hmm.
Because obviously, everyone who knows going into this episode, the title of it, been rewatching a lot of Star Wars just with the boys and myself, kind of like offhand and all that.
Hmm.
And one of the things that kind of makes me laugh is just how awesome, not laugh, but just to kind of admire, like at that time with like just the Star Wars movies alone for the prequels. Christopher Lee was Count Dooku and Saruman at the same time.
Yep.
And here's the thing, like he was the bad, not the main bad guy, but he was an a bad guy
Yeah.
in both trilogies. And he was in one for, Fellowship and Two Towers, so the first and second movie for Lord of the Rings, and then second and third movie for Star Wars prequel. And I'm just like, dude, that is something to witness as a kid growing up. Like the guy who played Saruman is kicking also Jedi ass.
Yeah.
And he's doing it like the most classy mofo ever. The
Hmm.
posture, the dialogue, the swag, the British upperclassman of this man. And then
Yeah.
you find out about his life. He was in his Majesty's Secret Service during the war, during World War II. This
Hmm.
dude, this dude
That's
assassinated.
right. Yeah, he did some shit.
The thing is, he was in his Majesty's Secret Service, not hers. So he wasn't like, what I mean? Like he was with the king at the time, and he
Hmm.
was putting SS officers in the ground.
Yeah.
That's just astounding, that dude, that he gets pulled off two roles like that effortlessly. He was the Count and Saruman, like a wizard and a Sith Lord. That's just awesome. That's just what's cool for me. Because we're going into a big fun Star Wars episode. But hey man, how are you doing today? You doing good tonight? I like your hat.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. This hat, I don't know if you don't get what this hat is from, is it?
I'm assuming it involves rugby.
Nope. No, no, this is me throwing some shade as a Star Trek fan. This is the official hat of the Deep Space Niners baseball team as
Oh my God,
depicted in,
I see
yeah,
the silhouette of the station now.
yeah,
That's so
yeah.
cool.
As seen in the season 7, the Star Trek Deep Space Nine season 7 episode Take Me Out to the Holosuite.
Ooh,
Um
this title.
which it's funny because that last season's like where it gets like where things get really intense. Like there's the big Dominion War happening, but they got 26 episodes to fill, so they get realistic and like, well, even in war there's downtime and Cisco has a beef to settle with another captain, so they play a baseball game in the Hollow Suite.
That's awesome.
At least one of Worf's best lines where like he's in the outfield. Um He's like, "Let's go." All the other people are like, "Let's go. You're going down." And Worf says, "Death to the opposition."
I gotta start saying that more at sporting events. Worf is great. Worf's a great character. I love him.
Yeah, he's a
Uh,
much more competent warrior than half the Jedi in Star Wars.
oh, so speaking of Star Wars,
Um,
folks, this is our fun Star Wars episode, our second Fun February episode. Unfortunately, this was going to come out on let me look at the date. It was the 10th, I think, was originally our plan for this episode, the 10th. Yes, but due to obviously what we talked about last week, we are now coming out with this episode on the 17th.
yeah, it's fine. They don't care about the
Stuff
whys and
happens though,
whys.
as we know. Remember, we've changed stuff around so much because of the news.
Hmm.
But for this episode, as we know, folks, time of recording, Dave Filoni is now in charge of Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah. Kathleen Kennedy is Kathleen Kennedy, who by the way is like before she took over Lucasfilm, was like one of the most like kind of the elite of Hollywood producers, Like she look up like half of Spielberg's movies from like, the 80s and onwards, and you'll find her name on like half of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so this
Yeah.
one.
I think she was like a producer on E.T. Um, like that early. Like I throw that out there because like Star Wars fans, at least Star Wars fans online, or people claiming to be Star Wars fans online, have like this hard-on hatred of Kathleen Kennedy. They treat her like she's the devil's spawn. And I just want to like read off some movies that she's produced before she took over Lucasfilm. E.T., The Color Purple, Empire of the Sun, Jurassic Park, Hook. Uh, let's see. Yeah, Bridges of Madison County, starring Clint Eastwood. Twister, Sixth Sense. Um, I don't see her name on Lost World Jurassic Park, but Jurassic Park 3. Um,
I like that
Seabiscuit.
movie.
Yeah,
Ooh, Seabiscuit's fun.
yeah.
Seabiscuit,
Spielberg's War of the Worlds and Munich. Uh,
dude. War of the Worlds, fucking, that was a lot for me to see as an elementary school kid. That was intense.
yeah.
People give that movie so much crap too, and I'm like, no, no, that was a scary movie to watch. That was
Hmm.
intense, man.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
that was a
Uh,
fun movie.
yeah. Adventures of Tintin, Warhorse, Lincoln.
Oh my,
And then
dude.
there's like stuff she did. Oh, and that's just like where she's credited solely as producer. In terms of like other like executive producer, associate producer, she's credited as an associate producer on the first on Raiders and actually the original three Indiana Jones movies. Um,
How old is this woman? I thought she was like 40.
72.
She looks good for 72.
Yeah,
I thought she was 40. I swear to God.
yeah, she ages herself well.
Good for
Yeah, no,
her.
she's 72 years old. Yeah. Oh, executive producer, Gremlins, The Goonies, Back to the Future, the entire trilogy, An American Tail, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Let's see, Gremlins 2. Um,
You hear Gremlins 3 is in production? I've heard that stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love
Uh,
American Tail. I love somewhere.
yeah. Oh, Schindler's List. Um, Okay, she is an EP on Lost World, Jurassic Park. I don't know how those. EP on Crystal Skull.
I
Um,
actually I enjoyed that film except for one part. I thought that was still an overall enjoyable movie. Saw that with my parents.
yeah, she's a EP on Signs, and sadly, she is credited as an executive producer on The Last Airbender. Hey, they can't all be hits.
There's only
As we've
one.
seen with Star Wars, they can't all be hits.
Yeah,
So.
but Travis, there's only one negative you said, and it was the last one. Everything else is like basically American pop culture when you
Oh
look.
yeah, and I skipped over a lot. I just named the ones
Shit,
that I
dude.
recognize. Oh
Oh
yeah,
God. Okay.
there's a lot. Oh yeah, there are a lot of titles. Like I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page. Yeah, there's a lot of titles that I did not name. I just named the ones that I knew and I knew you would know.
Damn.
Um, yeah, no, she's like fucking. I mean, she might as well be Hollywood royalty. Okay, if you were there in the beginning of Spielberg's career from the get-go, like with his greatest hits, um, yeah, you're on your way. No, she's a quality producer. Um, say what you want about how like her running Lucasfilm handled Star Wars. I think a lot of people think of her the same way people think of Kevin Feige as like someone who directs the story and whatever. And I don't think Kathleen Kennedy is that kind of producer. I think she's just more like, what can we make and how can we get it done? You
You know
know?
what's funny? You saying that people don't realize this because okay, South Park made fun of this. They actually did,
Hmm.
and they're I forget what it was called, but it was basically their take on the multiverse crap. And the thing is, though, they had three versions of Kathleen Kennedy. I believe it was three. One of them being Eric Cartman being a total douche. Hey, just put a chick in it and make her gay. Like that was the whole joke. It was when you actually meet the real Kathleen Kennedy.
Hmm.
It's just a woman doing her job. Like, and it's like they portray her, and and this is not in a mean way, but from what I heard, they portray her as just this very normal, boring, vanilla person, not woman, person of just like a
Hmm.
I'm just doing the job that I've been doing for other movies, and I'm now doing what I've done in the past for a very lore heavy franchise.
Yeah.
Back then, Raiders didn't have lore. Back then, all the movies that Spielberg did, for example, specifically like even Jurassic Park, there was no heavy lore.
No.
Star Wars is heavy, heavy ass lore. But she was just taking what she did in the past here. And from what I heard, I think Red Letter Media even did it actually for talking about her scene. It was just doing my job. I
Hmm.
don't hate Star Wars. I don't love Star Wars. This is my job. I'm not a fangirl. I'm not a nerd. I'm not a geek. I'm
Yeah.
doing what I've done so many decades in Hollywood with this. But guess what? Even though I don't like the new trilogy, they all were blockbuster hits.
Yeah.
And
They were.
I think people need to realize it's like when it comes to Star Wars and Star Trek, for example, and Lord of the Rings,
Hmm.
people who aren't into the lore are never actually going to make the best product of it. And the problem is, though, it's like you're not going to hire a nerd. You're not going to hire a geek. You're going to hire someone who's just going to get the job done.
Yeah. Well,
It's just the job. No,
I
but that's
I don't know. Like, I could find some exceptions with Star Trek. Like, I mean, Rick Berman was like the guy at the helm for kind of the golden age of Star Trek from like 87 to 2005 with Next Gen, DS9, Voyager, all that. He wasn't really, as far as I know, he wasn't into Star Trek all that much. Like I think he heard of it. I think he was familiar with it as like a passerby, but he wasn't like that into it until like Paramount put him in a because he was like a studio guy. He was like a studio executive for
yeah,
Paramount, and they put him as a producer on Next Gen, basically to make sure that Gene Roddenberry didn't run the production into the ground because he was kind of old and coked out of his mind and striking out and not in the best of health. But he ended up becoming like Roddenberry's like biggest champion even long after he died with which kind of led to some problems as well. Like he would be a little too restrictive on like what counts as like the vision and ethos of Star Trek, but for the most part he kept that franchise running for 18 years. And like today, like I remember when Enterprise came out, that was the one with Scott Bakula, and like Trek fans fucking hated that show. Like it was
oh,
it
you
was
told
just
me about yeah, you told me this. Yeah.
now I go on Reddit or social media, and like I'll go into like the Trek hater forums, and now they're saying like that was the last good Star Trek Enterprise. And I'm like, fuck you guys. I know for a fact you guys hated Enterprise. And some of them admit it. Some of them are like, I used to hate Enterprise when it came out, but now watching all this new Trek shit, that Enterprise really was the last great Star Trek. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. You are the reason why that show got canceled after 4 seasons. You're only saying that now because it's old and you've taken the time to watch it since then and you've gotten used to it. I can say that because that's like me. I used to be kind of like unforgiving of Enterprise of a lot of things, and now I've grown to like it more. But
Yeah.
I at least know it. I understand when I watch it again. There are things where I'm like, oh, I understand why people were pissed at this, and so I don't know. Like I feel that way. I wonder that way with like Star Wars. Like some of the new stuff with Star Wars that we didn't particularly like.
I think
It's
it's just the three movies. I
it's
think
it's the same with the prequels. It was a joke for years. Like it was like Star Wars fans hate the prequels, even though all of them were extremely successful at the box office. Star Wars fans hate the prequels. They argue, and now Star Wars fans are like, wow, they weren't that
you know what's funny? You bring that up though.
bad.
I thought Attack of the Clones was a little boring, but one and three I loved. Yes, I know there were some continuity errors in the sense of the lore of the Jedi, which were like, wait, what's going on here?
Hmm.
But overall, I mean, like one and three are fucking awesome. Two was just boring I mean, yeah, I saw that in theaters in 2002, so it's like, yeah, of course it was boring to a fucking second grader. But even as
Hmm.
an adult, two is kind of boring, which I'm like, I just want to get to the fucking Geonosian.
Yeah, get to the
But
Geonosian fight.
but overall, one and two are solid in a very scary way. One and three are
Well, well, okay. Here's what I'll give. The point of this, okay. So I guess we haven't finished our preamble. So Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down from Lucasfilm,
yes,
and she is being succeeded by Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni, who is like a Star Wars nerd. He's been around
yeah,
since the Clone Wars TV show.
the movie.
He was picked for Lucas handpicked him to basically take charge of the Clone Wars TV show because of his experience in animation and because George Lucas really liked the first season of Avatar: The Last Airbender, which he worked on. Um, and I have some problems with Dave Filoni as yeah, okay, first of all, I just want to say I'm not as I'm like there are things about Star Wars that I enjoy. I'm not as like, egalitarian about it as, fans, Um I remember I enjoyed The First Awakens when it came out. Think in the same way that I would enjoy like a decent pilot episode of a TV show where it's like and maybe that's a bad thing in retrospect, but I was like, well, maybe this could lead. I could see where this could lead to something interesting, and then it didn't. Uh, the Last Jedi was Ryan. Let's get a completely different writer who was not involved with the first movie,
At
a
all.
writer and director who not involved with the first movie at all, and you're going to do your own thing, but you're not going to be involved with the next movie. You're going to have no responsibility pretty much in resolving this storyline. They basically it was like, and I guess this is where the Kathleen Kennedy, it maybe where we can blame Kathleen Kennedy a little bit, where she kind of just approached those. It seems like the general approach to those movies were just as their own thing, not as, hey, this is a trilogy. This maybe we should like arc this out as like a trilogy, but then it seems like they just kind of approached it as like, well, this is the next movie. And then after this, the next, in the way you would a typical sequel, where you just make the one movie and then it does well, and then you're like, okay, let's make a sequel. What's the sequel about? I don't know. We'll do this, and then the sequel is successful, and then you make another one. You're like, well, what's this movie going to be about? You don't plan it out. You just like, make it up as you go, and I just didn't, and that it just didn't seem like that was the right that wasn't the right approach for the sequels. But Kathleen Kennedy, she's an old school film producer. I bet she didn't really. She doesn't. Maybe she just didn't have. If anything, it's because she's not like Kevin Feige. That she doesn't have this like. Well, this is going to lead to this, and this is going to go here, and we're setting up for this later on, and I need to wrangle my writers and directors all, to adhere to this idea. Um, I guess that's the one thing I would say that like, I'm not as like, rose colored about the prequels as you are, but I guess at least George Lucas was behind all of them. And not like George Lucas for George Lucas's sake, like no, like there was a voice, there was one singular voice that was driving that entire story. I think George Lucas needed some help, and he didn't like in the storytelling, and he didn't allow that help to come in, which is unfortunate. It would have probably made for better movies, but he wanted to tell a story about the rise of fascism in the galaxy. He and obviously, how do we get to how did Darth Vader, Anakin become Darth Vader, and what happened to the Jedi? Let's see the Jedi in their prime before things go to shit. Um, that's you know, and for the most part, all three movies adhere to that vision very well. There's never a sense of like, you know, you don't feel like the developments of the last movie are getting ignored for the next movie, which is how I deeply felt watching Rise of Skywalker, the ninth movie, where
Oh,
J.J. Abrams just looked at what Ryan Johnson did and was like, nah, she's related to Palpatine. Let's
yeah.
do let's go back to blood relations. Even though the point of the second movie, one of the points of the second movie was that Rey was not like hereditarily special.
No.
which is the thing that was most interesting about that movie. It was like, oh, okay, I like this. Let's do this. Because Star Wars has a habit of doing the opposite. Oh, never mind. Now we're not doing that. No, 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 no. It's like bad improv. Like the one rule of improv is you always say yes and. You build on what the other person did. You never say no. You never change it midway.
You just say yes and go.
Yes and go. Um, J.J. Abrams is not good at that, even though he started off in television. Therefore, you'd think he would, but whatever.
I will say this
Whatever.
from watching a lot of the stuff on Disney Plus, Dave Filoni does know how to connect things. He's
For
definitely,
better and worse.
oh, there's some worse. I know there's some worse. But overall, it's like, all right, everything's at least fucking connecting. But so
Like, oh
but
God. God, like the Mandalorian,
it was
that
just
first season gave me so much hope. Because,
that's it
like,
was I don't know, the whole second season was great except for the last episode and the last 10 minutes.
well, except the entire second season had so many, like, cameo shit. Like, hey, it's this character from this thing. And, when Ahsoka showed up, I was like, as someone who had not, at that point, had not watched the Clone Wars show,
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
was like, I was like, oh, it's that one character from that show that I hadn't watched, but
I
I'm
kind
supposed
yeah,
to
it's fine.
care.
I like how you said that. I was like this, oh hey, Ahsoka, that's cool. Because I saw the movie in theaters. So it's
Hmm.
like, all right, cool. All right, Ahsoka. Oh hey, Bo-Katan. All right, cool. Cool. Oh, I was
Yeah, I
actually
didn't know who the fuck Bo-Katan was. I
I
was
was
like, it wasn't until I finally watched the Clone Wars TV show, it was like, oh wait, I was supposed to know who this was. I didn't do my homework. Um, so
Star
Dave
Wars.
Filoni has that problem. The first season of Mandalorian is so fucking good because it was like it was just Jon Favreau committing to the, have gun will travel premise in space and just, like Star Wars, the universe of Star Wars finally felt big and expansive. Like everyone pretends it is, but it actually was in that first season because it's like we're following two completely new characters
Yeah.
with Din Djarin and Grogu, and they're just doing their own thing, and that was great. I was like, yes, just carve out your own path. Do that. That is the one way where this franchise can go forward. No, we gotta see this character. You remember this character? Dave Filoni's like, remember all these original characters that I created? Oh, don't you want to see him again? Oh, look, Luke Skywalker shows up. Oh God. At the day after that episode came out, when like Luke Skywalker takes Grogu away to train, which ends up amounting to absolutely fuck all. But the day after, I'm like looking at like Facebook and Instagram and seeing like my actual friends online like reacting to that, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's crying! Like Luke Skywalker showed up! Oh my God!" And I'm like, I lost all my respect for Star Wars fans after that. I was
I
like,
thought
you just want the keys jangled for you.
before
Um,
he took off the hood, I actually thought that was Ezra.
I kept thinking it had to be someone we knew, and I was filled with dread. I was like,
I was
no,
hoping it was Ezra because Rebels
don't
is
fucking do it.
solid.
Don't you fucking do it. And it,
I was hoping it was Ezra the whole time because it was a solid Rebels is a solid TV show.
mhm.
Jesus, that was a
I,
good.
uh,
Anywho, since he is the new man in charge, we thought for this episode we would pitch some ideas to him.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe
Which,
to bring to have the Star Wars that we would like to see. Travis and I for this episode, folks. By the way, thank you for another episode of Give Us the Launch Codes. Thank you for tuning in. We're each
mm,
going to pitch a TV show, movie, and video game to Dave Filoni.
okay.
But first, we're going to start off with a video game because he probably doesn't have any say in that. So we'll get
Probably
that out.
not much. No.
So hey, maybe he'll catch this. Maybe he'll listen. I'll DM him this, and maybe he'll. Of course, he'll be listening to a couple minutes of us saying,
Yeah, I don't know. He'll probably tune out after the first 5 minutes.
I'll
Um,
I'll put the little timer saying, "Start here. Trust me." So,
Uh,
Travis,
yep.
we're gonna pitch to the new the new boss.
Yeah.
What Star Wars video game would you like to see happen?
Battlefront 3, the way it was meant to be. Star Wars Battlefront 3. Not tell EA to fuck off and don't let Battlefield Studios do it unless under your very strict guidance. Under this strict No, no, no. We got to bring back Galactic Conquest. First and foremost. If it doesn't have Galactic Conquest, then fuck off, okay?
No. Hey, remember in Battlefront 1? Galactic Conquest. You battle your enemies one planet at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like and with Battlefront 2, you got to see like, oh, this could like the possibilities of where this could have gone. Because
Oh,
it basically it turned Galactic Conquest into a game of Risk.
dude, yes. Yeah.
And I would have wanted like way to like, let's do with like more planets. I would love to see like difficult like if you could do difficulty modes where it's like, oh, easy mode is like 5 planets, medium is like what we actually got, and then hard mode is like every single planet Star Wars ever had, or
Or
and
like Battlefront 2 is called Veteran.
or
Remember?
veteran, yeah, yeah.
It was the whole galaxy. I would have liked to have, depending on what your faction was, control of some super thing. Like if you're the Empire, you get to eventually control the Death Star, but it's a separate thing.
Yeah.
And kind of like how in Galactic Conquest you got to move a ship around. It's like, okay, well, you get to buy multiple ships. Maybe you get to buy the Death Star. As the Rebels, maybe you get to control a couple of like Mon Calamari cruisers, but then you get to control Home One.
Oh yeah.
And then
I
as
would
the
I would have loved it to where if you could like because you got to move ships around, if you got to like put two ships or on one planet,
oh yeah, well that
and
was
then it's like if you want to like conquer that planet, you gotta take out two motherships, motherfucker.
remember people found out that some um like finally leaked footage that happened about 10 years ago. You
Hmm.
got to ground to ship like at the same time simultaneously, but you get to land on multiple cruisers of your own faction at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we all saw the leaked footage and what the possibilities were, and we saw how it was growing. And I'm with you. I'd love to see Battlefront 3 as we hope. I don't like the leaked campaign footage we found. I thought that was stupid. Like, I'm like, really? Like, this clone trooper looks like a Jedi all of a sudden? Like, fuck that shit. But I liked what the gameplay was of how you can go from ground to aerial to to
Yeah.
atmosphere to the
Yeah.
stratosphere in the same game, and it was like this big open world of like just fucking nuts, just nuts.
Yeah. And I also would have loved it if like each planet had two maps, just like in the first Battlefront.
I would have liked that too. I kind of
Yeah.
miss Yavin's arena map. I like the Yavin arena map, but it was kind of like a maze at the bottom.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
missed the Hoth ice castles. Remember that? Like how Hoth had two maps. One was the Hoth, actually, that we all know from the movie, but then the
Are you thinking
second
of
one was,
Ren Var?
oh, sorry, I'm thinking of Renvar. My bad.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I think Hoth always only had one map, but like, yeah, Renvar was the other ice planet that.
oh yeah, and then it had like the cliff top. That's right, the cliff top.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Battlefront 3 expand, basically just expand on what you had. No prequel trilogy, but if you did, so what? I don't care. I kind of like the First Order ships to a degree,
Oh,
so
you mean
I'm
sequel trilogy? No,
sorry,
keep the prequel trilogy.
sorry. No, see, if you know what? No. If they did the sequel trilogy, so what? I kind of like the First Order ship designs anyway.
Yeah,
So, if you had all three trilogies in one and you had all that stuff and you kept all the heroes, you just kept building on what you already succeeded with Battlefront 2. I'm with you.
yeah,
Because, dude, and also too, you know what? I If they had a campaign, I wouldn't care because it's kind of hard to top that Battlefront 2 campaign.
yeah, yeah. You do whatever you want for the campaign. I don't care. Like, but just
You can't top that. You
mm-hmm,
can't top that campaign. Dude, the Coruscant mission alone for Nightfall.
mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that little monologue of like the only thing I remember from the Rise of the Empire was how quiet it was. I'm like,
Yep.
I'm gonna kill some. I actually thought I was gonna kill kids in that level.
Yeah, yeah. It's just yeah, it's so yeah. No, it's hard to top that. But Yeah, no, just to get a good Galactic Conquest mode, and I mean, can you imagine like the streaming possibilities for like Twitch streamers, like
It would be amazing.
and
If
and
it,
and and okay, let's talk cynical about money. Like, obviously, we would prefer like the game to be like fully packaged on arrival, like don't do what they did with the EA Battlefront, where it's like, oh, you get four mats, but you can download the DAC to buy more.
organic bullshit.
Fuck that. No, like buy the no, it's like you have a full complement to work with, and then you release, and then maybe release DLC to have like more maps and more skins. And you could just do what like they've been doing to Destiny 2 for years and just
Yeah.
like and then like dude, and like you could eventually get like I don't know, like a Galactic Conquest map that's so fucking massive. You would have like epic. You'd have like streamers go into like epic wars that would last for like
Ooh.
3 months.
You know, it would be a cool a cool feature because you in the second one you get to control starships in space. You get to just control the capital ship and just go full on broadside combat.
Yeah, yeah. Now we're talking.
Like you just get to at one point control your singular capital ship, and if you decide to go full tilt, it's like, well, you lost your command posts. How are you gonna get more troops in?
I know, and like there have to be like some sort of way to deter you from like just ramming into the other ship all the time. Because
Uh,
like people would do that. It's like, ah, fuck it. Just if I can't win, you can't win.
I'm
Of which
gonna
I guess at that point it would be like if nobody could respawn anymore. So it's just like last man,
yeah.
last man in a starfighter.
Well, make it as chaotic as possible at that point. That'd be cool.
Oh, but
I
that's
like
why
that.
you gotta have like multiple ships.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have like multiple
Well,
capital ships.
that also too, but remember the support ships you get too.
Yeah, there's just so many missed opportunities with the EA Battlefront. They totally you could
Oh,
tell they were made by people that didn't give a fuck and were like, okay, we're just gonna reskin
yeah,
Battlefield.
yeah. The
Eh,
second one was such an insult. Battlefront 2 was such an insult with
yep.
everything. I like that. Keep it
Mm-hmm.
my video game choice.
Mm-hmm.
I want the RTS that we everyone has played, the Empire at War, Star Wars Empire at War. Remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
I want number three as well.
Okay.
I never got to play two. I heard two is where you got to finally control the Superstar Destroyer, the Executor. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The third one, because I've watched it so much on YouTube, all the mods people have done for the third one, it's just like this. I want all three movies, all three, like basically three games in one. You can do your Clone Wars, Galactic Civil War, and the Resistance fighting. And you just have three different campaigns, three different world maps, six different class sets of, you can choose from. You can go full on Clone Wars, Separatist Army. You can go full on, obviously, Empire and Rebels. And then you can do your Resistance and First Order. But you get all the legendary ships, the Star Defender, the Eclipse, the Sovereign. You can get your capital ships, from the Clone Wars. You can get everything. I don't care about the hero shit. When it comes to RTSs, I hate the hero class characters. I just want the infantry troops and the normal stuff. But
Yeah.
that'd be cool. And it's like the map, you get to have it big. Same thing, Galactic Conquest campaign. It was fine. Empire of War, the first one, I didn't care. The second one was more about controlling from the hut side of like, playing two sides at one. I would
Mm.
like a third one where it was just like it just comes with everything all together, and then you can have fun too. It's like, hey, what if the clones went up against the Empire?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think
Get
people
real
would.
fanficky with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have the Rebel Alliance go up against the Resistance. Like
Mm.
that'd be kind of crazy. Have the Droid Army go up against the First Order. Like do some crazy shit because I don't know if you realize this, Travis. The size of the Republic capital ships are so small compared to a Star Destroyer.
Ooh.
Like
Hmm.
in the Revenge of the Sith when Obi-Wan and Anakin are flying against that capital ship,
Yeah, yeah.
It is literally a dwarf compared to a superstar destroyer.
Well, yeah, those things are like ginormous. They're like
That's the thing,
flying
though.
space cities.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That would be kind of cool, though. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Hmm.
fun to to really show for Star Wars fans to be like, yo, no, the size comparison is on the dot. Like, holy crap! Like, it's just all over the place. And like,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I would like that. Just stretch. I love RTSs. That's one. That is probably my favorite RTS is Empire at War because I play that so much, and it's just fun to be like, I have this. I have the Death Star now. I'm blowing up Hoth. I'm blowing up everything.
Oh, that's
I once
amazing.
in Galactic Conquest let the rebels take Coruscant so I could just blow up Coruscant.
Oh, that's genius.
That's what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying.
just like lure them in the trap and you
I
blast
blew
them.
up Geonosis too right off the bat, going like, nah, not happening this round. That planet, by the way, you
You
know how
said I hate sand.
yes. Do you know how bad big Geonosis is though in the Star Wars universe? Like how fucking huge that planet is?
As big as Jupiter.
It makes Jupiter look like a toddler. I just blew that bitch up. I'm like, I'm not dealing with it. I hate Geonosis. I'm not I hate sand. So that okay, so
Oh,
that's our video game pitch, Dave Filoni. If you can make
yeah.
it happen, please do. Star Wars fans are pretty simple, really. You know when you joked about the key dangling? The thing about the key dangling, it's simple. Don't overcomplicate the key dangling. It's just a simple thing. Don't overcomplicate the keys.
Unless you get Andor as a result, because Andor is well, as I said before, Andor is too good for Star Wars.
So,
But
speaking of a TV show,
uh-huh.
pitch your TV show, Travis.
Okay.
Take us
My
to the Emmys.
my TV show idea is a buddy cop Jedi procedural. Just take us back
Yeah.
to the Jedi in their prime in the Old Republic, or I guess the High Republic, as you're going to call it now. Um,
There's two different ones, by the way. High Republic, Old Republic, and then the Republic. It's all three different things.
oh, in canon, they're all three different things.
Yes.
In the Disney canon, they're all three
No,
different
in the
things.
actual beforehand lore.
Oh, okay,
Even
all
now,
right.
same thing. So High Republic.
Whatever. Like whichever one applies. Whichever era you want to do, I really don't give a fuck. It's the Jedi in their prime, and it's just two Jedi going from planet to planet, solving space crimes. I guess I want to see what the Jedi are supposed to do when there's not some bullshit Sith threat upon them.
Well, then,
Like
okay.
I would have a no red lightsaber rule.
Ooh, so you're going full on.
Yeah,
It is just the Republic as we saw. Basically, it's like what you're telling me is before Phantom Menace. But
it's a cop show. Like when you're watching a cop show, any cop show, you're not worried that, the evil even if there's a storyline involving some evil drug dealer or mafioso, you're not worried that the mafia guy is actually going to like take over the city literally and turn it into a hellscape. No, he's just a bad guy that needs to be stopped because I don't know. He threatened Hero Cop's wife or something. I don't know. It's that kind of shit. It's the status quo of the universe of NYPD Blue is never really questioned. You know,
hey,
the status
imagine
quo of Law and Order SVU. No, you're never concerned that New York City is gonna fall apart. As Olivia Benson is trying to catch all the rapists in New York City.
imagine if Law and Order was like this. I don't have any ideas. We're gonna have a 10-part episode arc where it's just the mob took over. The cartel took over New York, and it's just a war on the street.
It like turns into that Chuck Norris movie Invasion USA.
No, no, it turns into the Dark Knight Rises. It turns into the Dark Knight Rises where cops are just doing street fighting with criminals on
Yeah,
by blocking. They're taking back Harlem. They're taking back the Bronx. They're taking back Brooklyn.
that's how you know Dick Wolf is about to die soon or has died. It's just
Hey, just Times Square is a fucking war zone of just like
yeah.
it's just like a full-on hand-to-hand combat war.
No, yeah. Anyway, so my pitch would be like, yeah, like typical Jedi and apprentice. Jedi Master and Apprentice go from planet to planet solving space crimes.
I like that.
You could do all sorts of things with it. You could have the Padawan is like new, and the Jedi and the Master is like old and by the books, or maybe you could have one character be like a rule breaker that's kind of like a renegade against the law, kind of like what I think Lucas was trying to do with Qui-Gon Jinn. And then the other one is like based by the rules. It's something that writes itself. I thought of this when I was getting bored to tears watching The Acolyte before I shut it off after 2 episodes, where I'm like, why are we bothering? I was watching that show. I was like, why are you bothering with this like 8 hour movie bullshit? Just make a cop procedural about Jedi.
Yeah.
And you could probably do it if you do it right. You could probably do it for not a lot of money. Let's be real.
No,
You
if you
could,
if you think about it, you could basically do that. You could do a buddy cop master and apprentice Star Wars show the way Star Trek did it of like, we're on a new planet every day, but basically it's the studio lot and it's
yeah.
fucking
If anything, like Cole, I don't know, Cole Herman Zimmerman. I think he's still alive. And ask him, be like, hey, how did you like build a new planet set every week?
yeah.
And yeah, because like, and that would be the show.
And
And
have
you wouldn't there be no war. You wouldn't have to worry about some galactic war or conflict. You want to present the idea of the Republic as the Republic and the Jedi as like stable institutions, like
yeah,
which, if anything, can make the fall of the Republic and the fall of the Jedi, and when rewatching the prequels, all the more tragic because now you get a glimpse, you get a true look as to like how these things operated, and hell, maybe the Jedi of the past were a little different than how they were presented in the prequels. Like,
I
I
think
don't
so.
know, maybe they fucked. Maybe something happened later on which caused them to stop fucking. Like, I don't know.
No, no, hey, if you ever watch that little like anthology series called Visions, they do something in a small episode of a master and a Padawan, and you can definitely tell you're like, oh, this is before Phantom Menace for sure, because you can feel the difference of how they're acting.
Yeah,
Like when you watch the two go up against, I mean, yes, they go up against a Sith, but still, when you see, I think it was the first episode in the first season of Visions. I could be wrong, but it's like, oh, this is how they kind of were, and it's different. And I thought when you say that, I'm thinking about that more because I think about when we got to see the Jedi Temple in 1 and 2, Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. There were non-Jedi, non-Force users in working in the temple, so
yeah,
it makes you think we're like, okay, it's a procedural cop drama. They're traveling the galaxy doing cop stuff, but like obviously at a higher level because it's Jedi. The two Jedi probably weren't traveling alone. Like we saw in Phantom Menace, they came with people. So the Jedi aren't piloting the ship. There's a medic, there's a cook, there's two
yeah. They were on like
probably
a Republic ship. Yeah,
well, like a small Republic simple ship of like maybe a crew of 7, where it's like, okay, you have the Astro droid, you have the protocol droid, but you probably have like two enforcers with you to like do the handcuffing and like we got him in the cell. Don't worry, we're watching him in shifts while the Jedi.
yeah,
No, I like that because then you can expand more because we all know it's not just two dudes. We saw that in Phantom Menace. Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan came with two pilots.
yeah.
So it makes sense. It's like
It
there's
fills out your cast.
well, there's a crew of 7 minimum, and you can then have that crew. You have a set stage for the ship, and it doesn't have to be like this huge ship. It can be just small, simple, because Jedi were minimalist. So the two Jedi are probably bunking,
Yeah,
have all this stuff,
yeah,
and then you could have that, like you said, like maybe there's obviously a couple of chicks on the crew, maybe they're flirting with the Jedi, or maybe they're not, or maybe the Jedi are attracted to someone else. Like it's the possibility, like you said, of like show us the prime that we can see. The
yeah,
sprinkles you gave us, we want more of it, and we can see it. Where it's like, just do 120 years before Phantom Menace. Simple to the point. There's no Sith. I like your rule. I like your rule a lot of no red
no,
lights,
no red lightsabers.
and you can
Fuck
have
that.
fun with that where it's like you're dealing with this, you're dealing with that, and you can show the indifference of certain things where it's like, oh, maybe Qui-Gon Jinn wasn't as master as we thought. Like this master's fucking damn.
Yeah. Oh, and you can have like I would say you can have bad Jedi, But don't like have the don't make them evil because they joined the dark side. No, they
No.
got corrupted by other things.
Or maybe they're just also too, they're just a dick in the order.
Yeah.
You can have a Jedi just be like someone like when they go to the temple episodes and they're, maybe dropping off a prisoner or just coming back. You just have that one dick. Like he's a
Hmm.
good guy, but he's such a dick.
Yeah.
Such a fucking dick. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. Pretty cop, procedural, something simple to the point, and then you can have multiple episodes over multiple seasons, and then these characters can grow up, and then end it how you end it. But like you can actually show the universe in the way you want, kind of like how the first season of Mandalorian did.
Hmm. Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. Also, no Yoda. I don't care how old he fucking is. Just don't have Yoda show up for a while.
Well, he was on the council. He was 800 by the Revenge of the Sith. He
Yeah.
was 845 years old. He's
Yeah,
on the
yeah. You don't have to. Yeah, yeah. He's too high up. You're not dealing with Yoda. Maybe like have Yoda show up in a cameo in like season three, but don't, you know. I mean,
You know what?
Dave Filoni would argue, well, he's got to show up earlier because
No, you
I
know,
love my toys so much.
but I like what you're saying because then it's like, well, why do the Jedi have to always take someone in? Maybe they're just solving, problems, not solving
Hmm.
crimes.
Yeah.
And then, and kind of like Star Trek, for example, going off your hat, they could
Hmm.
be doing like, oh, you're just going to go on a ship and we'll hologram you missions throughout your like, 6 month travel.
Yeah, like, and you don't even see them like get the mission. It's like it just opens up on the ship. Captain's log. We just received a communique from
Yeah,
Starfleet to investigate the situation. Boom, you're in.
yeah. And like the Jedi Temple is just hologramming stuff. And then obviously it's like, all right, your 6 month or 8 month, tour is up. Then, like, if anything, I would argue the season two premiere would have to have Yoda. Like, you finally get back to Coruscant as like a refiller. Because,
Yeah.
you got to fill the ship up, you got to take a break, you got your leave. There's still, people, there's still beings that need a break. So
Hmm.
I would argue season two premiere, but still.
Whatever.
But you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I get what you're saying, where it shows just like they were when you're sent out and you just don't come back for a while.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. All right. What's your TV show?
My TV show's a mini series
Oh, okay.
because it ends in 10 episodes. Because
Okay.
it's mine, because I've always found it kind of interesting because when you read mostly the comics about how Order 66 went down and how there's some Jedi who fought the long fight besides Obi-Wan after escaping and surviving.
Hmm.
I would love a 10-part miniseries following a group of young Padawans just trying to survive a Holocaust. And it ends with obviously them all dying. But the thing is, it's like when you watch Operation Nightfall in Revenge of the Sith,
Hmm.
get little, I mean, yeah, obviously for movie's sake, you don't need that much, but with the little clips and bits you get, you're just like, oh my God, they're being massacred by
Yeah.
these clones. And then obviously Anakin kills like 20 kids.
What
Oh,
shall
sorry,
we
no.
do, Master Skywalker?
That's a Skywalker. There's too many of them. What are we gonna do? By the way, that hit harder because they picked a kid who looked like Anakin in episode one.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, a
oh
little
God,
blonde-haired kid.
he's killing his innocents. He's killing. By the
And
way,
it killed
the
the younglings. He didn't kill children. He killed
Sylvie Young. By the
younglings.
way, when I saw that on the first Saturday that premiered, opening weekend, when
Hmm.
that happened, when the lightsaber got ignited, the air got sucked. I'm talking
Yeah.
sucked out of that room with 356 people.
George Lucas was not afraid to go there in some
Oh,
places.
dude, it got because remember how and it cuts, but when that happened, you just feel everyone going like this.
You knew what was happening next.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think everyone was ready to go home. Like,
Yeah. That okay, like yeah, there it's like I like for the longest time I like refused to watch Revenge of the Sith because I was like I knew I was gonna end and I knew it was gonna end badly.
and
I'll
bad.
tell you, if I saw that in a theater, I would have cried.
I
I
was
would
in
have
the
been
verge.
very, very upset.
Dude, I was so shocked I could not cry.
It just Yeah, it's like he murdered children. That's like like Lucas crossed that line. Even Spielberg will never cross that line.
No,
Um,
I mean, Jesus. But anyway, my take would be it'd be interesting to see because I know the Acolyte, I believe, kind of had that, but like a group of like Padawans from, yes, as early as 3 years old, because the Jedi did take kids at 3 years old,
mhm.
up between the ages of 3 and like under 18. So the audience knows that these are kids. And I
Yeah.
don't care what species they are. I don't care if they have to do the motion capture on some child actors, prosthetics on the other, but like you just know as audience, this is between the ages of 3 and 17. And these are a group of kids just literally outrunning a government, hunting them
Mhm.
down like dogs. And
Yeah.
you and maybe they had a master or a Jedi Knight who, and also too, it shows that through desperation, the religion has to change just to survive. So like maybe their quote unquote master who rescues them in like a small shuttle purposely makes a couple of 15-year-old Jedi Knights just because it's like we need we need a knight. Like I can't do this on my own. I need knights. So he like somewhat bastardizes the religion for survival because human history, like when it comes push comes to shove, desperation, you'll do anything to survive. So you really see the religion really crumble apart, not because they all got wiped out, but because one master was like so desperate and like this is bad, he completely skipped the trials. He completely skipped the code and just said, "Fuck, you're a knight now. You're a knight now. Like this is we
Yeah.
aren't in." And then it's like every episode, obviously someone dies, and it's children
Mhm.
to show how intense that was. Of like you're gonna watch that 3-year-old character get massacred, like in
Yeah.
some way. You're gonna watch maybe one of them get kidnapped and turned into one of the Inquisitors, and then they turn them
Oh.
down. Maybe one of them gets so pissed at this that it's like, hey, I got a plan. What is the plan? We're leaving the galaxy. What? Like we're just gonna we're gonna find a ship, fuel up, and we're just leaving this galaxy. Let it fall, let it kill itself, and move on. And then there's an argument of like, oh, the next galaxy is like 60 million light years away. You dumbass! Like there's no ship around. What are you talking about? We're gonna live in cryo? What are you like? And then they're eating each other, infighting, and you just see that
Yeah.
break apart. And it's just like maybe, and then like going kind of off on you through desperation, they forget the code and maybe two of them fall in love. Like, like
It'd
we don't
be
know if we're going to see the next day.
I had this thought of like, okay, maybe one of them survives in the end and just like lays low, and then we fast forward to them as an adult, like several years later, and like the news somehow hits that Palpatine is dead, the second Death Star blowed up, the rebellion has won, and then he has a kid, he or she have a kid, and then they like teach him how to use the Force. It's
Because
like
it's safe
it's
now.
like yeah, it's safe now. Like,
Yeah,
oh
why not?
hey, I want to show you something.
Hey,
You can do this too.
but why not? You get what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
why not? And then like you could have a scene too, because I think they did it in the Bad Batch episode one. You can have a scene like in the second episode, they got off Coruscant and they're listening to the newsreel of Palpatine's speech, the attempt on my life.
Yeah.
And but now you get a full really effect of people watching. Like we saw it in the Senate room. Like we were there. But now you're seeing people watching it like on TV going like, and like there could be tears, there can be anger, there can be desperation. Maybe one commits suicide as like fuck it, and they put the lightsaber on. Like you can really have. I wanted this since I was in high school because I always
Hmm.
found Operation Nightfall interesting. How the Jedi spread across the galaxy were all generals, so they were actually all knights and masters, and they all got wiped out except for Yoda and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
But the ones at the temple, and I read some of the comics, some of them got out, some of them did. So it's like, let's have an interesting take on it where it's kids. Because
Star
because
Wars Nightfall. There's your title.
yeah, and it's an 10-part miniseries of of an in-depth look at what the fall and of a religion is, and how these kids are hunted down like dogs, and how to survive, kind of like maybe how it happened with us Catholics thousands of years ago. Cough, cough. to survive getting persecuted by a government, you kind of do stuff to the religion, the 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 righteous texts to live
Yeah.
another like that. I'd like that. That's just me. And you keep it grounded, obviously only green and blue lightsabers. You get fun with the prosthetics and like maybe have a couple kids in motion capture. Have one of the kids be a Wookiee. I don't give a shit. Like you just have fun with it, but like you have to be willing to go there like Lucas did. Yeah, you can cut the screen. We don't need to really see a child be cut in half.
No.
You can allude to like, oh shit, like who dies next? Like kind of you kind of have fun, like you don't know who's gonna bite the bullet. You don't know who's gonna make it. That's the
No.
whole point. Like you have to write it in a way where you do not know who gets to survive and who then, like you suggested, which is a great idea to end it, teaching the religion outside of Luke's academy.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's mine.
Cool. And what's the last one
So
that we're
Travis,
doing?
what is your movie?
So my movie is about it actually partly this is partly inspired by just sort of having read like George Lucas's a biography about George Lucas by Brian J. Jones. It's called George Lucas: A Life. I would recommend reading that. It's a really interesting book. Made me appreciate the guy a lot. George Lucas had a strong love of like sort of classic Americana that he liked to put in his works, and even in Star Wars to some degree.
Mhm.
And one piece of classic Americana that fascinates me is the origin of stock car racing, also known as NASCAR. It came from the moonshine, the illegal moonshine business during Prohibition, as people would trick out their cars to go faster so they can outrun the cops. And eventually, people were like, "Well, I think my car's faster than yours." "Oh, really? Let's race." And that's how racing got started in America, as through
I can
through
get 20
criminal.
cases of liquor across that county line
Yeah,
fast. You motherfucker.
yeah. I mean that the SC in NASCAR stands for stock car, which I mean
Yeah.
they don't they which nowadays is like what a stock car is like so different. It used to be like they would take real cars and just like
Mod them
trick
out.
them out, kind of like
Yeah.
a yeah, yeah. You
You
might
saw,
see that at like Le Mans and stuff, but yeah, now NASCAR is just like you have the standard body and whatever.
no, yeah, no, it used to be like people literally modified everything and like did crazy shit with their cars to outrun the law.
So, in the spirit of that, I thought, what if that we made a sports drama about pod racing? But it was like somebody who got into pod racing, maybe to pay off some like crime debts, but also like they're into pod racing, but they also like use their pod racer to like smuggle contraband in a way to like evade the authorities. So it'd be like mixing sports with crime where it's kind of like racing, like you have an underdog character where it's like racing is how they're going to get out of their jam, but
Mhm.
but the means which they're using to race is simultaneously digging them a deeper hole, you know? Um so
Well,
and
you're
yeah.
correct in that because we saw in episode one, pod racing was already from the jump illegal because who was running it? Jabba the Hutt. It was like illegal.
Yeah,
It was,
well, it was beyond the law of the Republic. Like
yeah, it was the
nobody
outer
could
rim.
enforce. Yeah,
Yeah. It's an
and
out, it goes with what you said. Pod racing is actually an outer rim sport
yeah,
because Qui-Gon would have known about it, but he really didn't. It's an outer rim sport because look at that sport. It's fucking dangerous. I think what? Everyone but three dudes died in that run
and
race?
like cheating is completely acceptable. Like
Oh,
Sebulba was not getting in trouble for any of the shit he pulled.
no.
Yeah, no, like yeah, that's my idea of a Star Wars movie. Again, no lightsabers. Obviously there'll be blasters, but like no Jedi.
Don't
Like
need the
I
Jedi.
yeah, we don't need it. We don't need force shit. I don't care what era of Star Wars this takes place in. I really don't. I actually would like it if the movie was vague about that. Like, when in Star Wars does this take place? Who cares? Who cares? Like, it's a movie about pod racing. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't get, like, it doesn't matter at that point.
You ever
So
played
yeah.
the N64 pod racing game?
No, I haven't. I played the arcade pod racing game, which
That's
is
what it's based on. That's it. That's the same thing.
okay. Yeah, that was
Ugh.
kind of difficult. Like the controls are
Dude,
doing.
wasn't that awesome where you sat in the pod and you had to like move your hands and
Oh God.
I had so much fun doing that. I was just, oh God.
Hmm.
Busters when it was great. So I would love a pod racing like in depth like and do it practical like where when you have people in the cockpit you just put like a jet engine 20 feet away from them or so it's blasting on them like ah! Because you
Yeah,
know how fast those things are going, right?
those things are going super fucking fast.
Almost a
Like,
thousand miles per hour or more. I
yeah.
remember the game. Like you're going fucking hard. You're going hardcore. And you know what's cool about pod racing? Because we
Mm.
saw with Anakin, you're also like you're your pit crew. You don't stop and really pull over. Yeah, a couple of them did, but you're actually repairing your ship on the
Yeah.
fly.
Yeah,
I like
it reminds me of like in the like in Battlefront and Battlefront 2 where like if you were a pilot, if
yeah,
you were
you
a
can repair
pilot class, you would repair your ship mid-flight and you just
automatically.
see your ship's health meter go up and like, "Hey, my engine just got blasted really hard. It's like smoking at the end. I don't see how you can fix that like mid-air in space." But
Well,
you can.
if you have an Astro droid,
Yeah, like somehow an astromech droid can just like get two fusion cutters, go boop, 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 boop. It's done. It's fine. It's all good.
and if R2 can do it, anyone can.
Yeah.
I like that though. I would like a really like a really grounded pod racing movie, like
Yeah.
stock car with a little crime, like he's hiding it in his cockpit, or he travels when he goes to certain circuits, he's actually traveling with the contraband and he's racing as a cover kind of thing.
Like I
Yeah,
wouldn't want it to be compared to this, but like isn't that what like the first Fast and Furious movie was about?
yeah. They were the sometimes you know what's crazy? If I remember right, sometimes the car parts were the contraband, so they had to actually take the car apart. But that's smart, right?
Yeah.
That's
So like
called
just do
have that. No, no,
the
have that.
not the tone, but the premise of the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. But you don't need a big
Yeah,
crew of like we're family. It's like when you look at pod racing and you look what Anakin pulled off and you look at the other drivers and the racers, you only need like what, a 3, 4 man crew? If you think about it, you don't need like that much to travel around from circuit to circuit, from planet to planet. You just need a Millennium Falcon sized frigate.
yep.
And you just have, I mean, we saw the pod racer is 3 parts, the cockpit and the 2 engines.
Hmm.
The cord is just you wrap it. Like, I mean, no, no, really, you could scale this down to like a 4 person cast of like this is the 4 people who are the main cast. You got the mechanic, the person who flies the ship,
Yeah.
other person, and then the
M-
driver.
Maybe there's like a legal in Star Wars. There's like a legal version of pod racing that's like much more regulated, and then you see like that's not run by the Hutts. It's like actually properly regulated within the inner planets, and and you can see like you can look at the pod racers, and maybe they're like a little more uniform or a little more sleek in design, and like the pods are actually like fully covered. So that
Oh, I
like
like the open pod idea though, because the wind's hitting their face. They have the goggles on. It's like
well
so.
maybe like the main character's desire is to race in like the more legit circuit, but just can't like has a hard time finding the right manager or whatever. Maybe there's like maybe there's like a plot where there's like a talent manager that's looking more towards the outer rim, even though it's like it's kind of taboo to do that. But it's like I'm gonna like I'm
I
gonna
already know.
bring like a street kid. Maybe that's a sequel. Like I'm gonna bring like a real street kid to race in the real circuits, and like he races in like the inner planets, and everyone frowns upon him. It's
Yeah,
like who the fuck is this kid doing here? And it's like it's like the elite racers like you play dirty. You don't play like we do. We are professionals,
I would
and
not mind seeing pod racing like a race in Coruscant, like through the city and all that, like jumping high.
yeah.
You know who could play the manager, by the way, just because he said talent manager? I'm like, you know who could play that, right?
Who? The
Jeremy Piven.
German.
Yeah, because he's been playing Ari Gold. That'd be so great to see him be just Ari Gold in Star Wars.
Put some makeup on him so he doesn't just literally look like he isn't just Jeremy Piven like he's an alien.
I would totally, I would be actually okay if he was part of the race of that one Jedi with the big ass long cone head.
Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah, and Caddy Moody.
Yeah, can he just give him that? Because it's Jeremy Piven with the big ass head, and he's just doing Jeremy Piven.
Oh, that's great.
I
That's
would
fucking great.
I would love that. I don't even care who the rest of the cast is. Like, I don't care who the main racer is. But if Jeremy Piven was like the manager, like talent guy, and he just literally got to be himself.
Hmm.
Oh God. I know I would like I've been always wanting a pod racing movie. It's such a good idea. The fact that it's been 25 years, wait, no, 27 years.
Yeah.
And
And they haven't really done anything with pod racing since that
only
first
gotten
movie.
we've only gotten two games, and the second game was shit. That's it. That's all we've gotten.
Yeah, it's an underused concept, and that's why that's I'm so sick of galactic conflict in movies and light
No,
side, dark side. I need a clean break from that if
yeah,
we're
I
gonna
agree
make
with you.
another Star Wars movie. I want to do pod racing, a sports drama about pod racing. That's my movie.
Are you ready for my movie?
Yeah, let's do it.
Speaking of who was running pod racing,
Hmm.
I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? It would be different. It wouldn't involve, like you said, a galactic thing, a galactic war, but it would be a different take because we've seen him in multiple things. And I've always been curious about it because it would be a different take on a almost Godfather-like character where his physicality is completely limited and it's all about
Ooh.
intelligence and charisma.
Hmm.
I for fun's sake, but play it straight. Gotta play it straight. I would like a Jabba the Hutt movie.
Okay. All right.
Hold on. He's a slug, right?
Yeah.
If you look at Jabba the Hutt from specifically just Return of the Jedi and Phantom Menace and a bit of the Clone Wars movie,
Hmm.
how the hell is this slug the main crime boss in the galaxy? He is the main crime boss in the galaxy. He is, but he's a damn slug. Like you see him move, what, maybe 5 seconds in the entire saga
Yeah.
will move. I would kind of like to, because here's why. It's a crime movie. You get a bit of a Goodfellas Godfather feel, but it's a slug who, through his mind and career, like through his intelligence, just no physicality at all. He can't do anything. He's not a threat, but through nothing but sheer brain power becomes Jabba the Hutt.
Now, are you gonna have him like speak like
Yes.
like the whole time?
Here's the thing. I want that because I've said it before. The only reason why I don't like Black Panther is because they weren't speaking Wakanda the entire film. I hate
Okay.
it. I wanted them, like, I get when they were off Wakanda territory, they were speaking in like English or whatever, but like when they were in Wakanda, they should have been just subtitles the whole movie. The entire movie should have been subtitles.
You don't even want to do the Hunt for Red October trick where you zoom in really close and then I'm speaking English now.
I am that kind of movie person where if there is a foreign language of any kind, and there's like, and that's going to be a part, like, okay, Letters from Iwo Jima.
Uh,
That favorite foreign language film of all time because you're just when you hear the Japanese language and you're reading the English translation, you really get into the mind of those Japanese soldiers and how it was in Iwo Jima. You feel the culture, you're buying into it, you're living it, you're understanding like, oh my God, this is who my grandfather fought, and it humanizes them. Because that's what it is. I mean, in every side of war, both sides are right in their heads.
yeah.
So with this, obviously, when dealing with other species, they're speaking, English or whatever other languages. But to show the intelligence of Jabba and how he can understand the other languages. I mean, yeah, later on, unfortunately, you would, speaking of the Dave Filoni thing of playing with your toys too much, Bib Fortuna will have to be a character later on. But to show Jabba's intelligence, he knows already few alien languages. Like he knows, he knows he can talk to Han, whoever another human being of English speaking,
Yeah.
or I guess it would be called High Republic's language. But
Yeah.
I'm okay with hearing, Idaduna, Bogodongu. Like, I'm okay with hearing that the whole film. That's just me because it's like, I want to know Java. I want
Hmm.
to hear that. Like the oh, see, yeah, I want to hear that. I want to hear him. I want to hear that because technology not only has advanced so much in filming, you can motion capture it and make it feel like it was the prosthetics in Return of the Jedi. But then whoever the actor is who's going to play him, you noticed the way Jabba's lips move in all iterations. There's none of this. It's all,
Yeah.
but you feel the emotions still, and I'm okay with that. I would like to see that. That's just me personally as a for the type of films I like watching. But I think it'd be cool as Star Wars fans too, even not myself, to get into the mind of the Hutt. Like, think about it though, man. Like, how did this slug fat piece of shit be able to control Boba Fett? Be able
Hmm.
to scare Han Solo into like hiding behind the Rebel Alliance, but even the rebels were like, "We can't protect you, dude. You're on your own." The
Yeah.
Rebel Alliance couldn't even protect Han from Jabba,
Nope.
and Jabba had a son. Jabba is a person, and it's got this Scarface mentality of like, what made this guy, whoever he was, come up and like, oh, slavery's fine. He's a rapist. Jabba, first of all, is a rapist. He's
Yeah.
he's
Oh yeah.
he's a horrible person. He believes in slavery, sex slavery. He forced himself onto Leia. God knows what he did. I mean, we allude to what he did to Leia because how he made her dress.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
ate living creatures. Remember in Phantom Menace, he bit the head off that one creature, spit out its skull just to start a race. Jabba is a low life scum, and I want that as a quick 2 hour film, The Rise of Jabba the Hutt. Like you can end it too, leading into the Phantom Menace pod race. I don't need anything else after. I want to know how this guy became the crime lord of the galaxy for almost what 2 to 3 decades. Because like
Yeah.
how old Luke is when he finally like takes him
Hmm.
out of the Jedi.
Yeah.
3 decades. This I'm gonna say 3 decades. This guy held the galaxy in his palm of crime.
Hmm.
I'm down with it. That's just me. I'd be down for a Jabba the Hutt film, his rise. Don't need to see his fall, just his rise. How this street kid, or who is he? Was he royalty? Was he not? He had a wife because he had a son. It's in the canon. He had a son.
Yeah.
He's obviously a good father because, like any father, he told the Separatist army and the Republic, whoever gets my kid first gets the trade routes. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Clone Wars is a silly film, but that little segment of like, I don't care who you guys are. Whoever gets my son first gets the trade route. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Just get me my son. That's a dad. That's a very much a dad mentality of I'll shake hands with Dooku. I don't care. That's just me. I think that'd be kind of cool. Obviously, it's got to have the right writer. You got to really have the right
Yeah.
actor. You got to do some stuff where maybe it's motion capture, but they're in like a wheelchair to have that like slug movement.
Hmm.
And here, the actor can only use their arms.
Yeah.
And yeah, why not? Like, hey, I love listening to the Klingon language and Romulan and other languages from Star Trek and Star Wars. Let's really fledge out the Hutt language.
Cool. I get the sense like from your what I'm getting like from your choices is like, you're very much interested in like uh taking what's there and like digging deeper into like the seedier underbelly of what we already know with a lack of kid gloves.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the commonality of my choices is like I want to make that galaxy bigger. I mean, literally so with my Battlefield 3 choice, but like I want to like I want to make I feel like it for Star Wars, and I'm not saying your choices are bad. I'm not saying you're
Look, I know you're
I'm not
saying.
saying that. But I was just saying like I feel like and I think you can agree with this you know and I don't think your choices would counter to this at all. But like the I think for Star Wars, the trouble that Star Wars is having right now is that it is a limited universe that mainly wants to focus on the same like 60-year period. and and kind of like regurgitate same ideas, same tropes over and over again. And I think like Star Wars needs to figure out a way to break out of that. But
Well, and the thing is, though, Star Wars has that. They're never going to touch Knights of the Old Republic because of how MA it is.
yeah,
And the thing
like
is,
they need to just yeah, like yeah.
and for me, when it comes to breaking from Star Wars, it's just I'm just tired of the Skywalker stuff. That's just
Yeah.
me. I
Hmm.
think Skywalker was fine for 6 episodes because that was the point.
Yeah.
But that's why my two like my TV show and movie choices is just for me. I've always thought like I know I read some comics where like some Jedi got out of the temple. I'd like to have fun with that more grounded like hey, a group of Padawans got out and we get to see how we get to see a different way religion dies and religion dying through desperation because look what okay again you and I being Catholics
Hmm.
it's been how many hundreds of years like it was how many hundreds of years before the Bible was written we know that Jesus's group of followers they somewhat bastardized what he was saying to some degree to survive
Hmm.
because the
Yeah.
Roman Empire was a scary fucking empire. And I know the people who survived after his crucifixion, they did what they had to do to live because it's human, it's instinctual. So Obi-Wan, as we see in New Hope, is the last bastion of what the Jedi are, like what it
Yeah.
means. And then you meet Yoda and Return and Empire Strikes Back. I'm like, okay, it's but the Jedi religion isn't just these two. There was
Hmm.
a why not have a group who were in it, got out, but you see through survival how a religion gets bastardized, but it's not a bad thing. It's like we did it to survive. Like we didn't know what was going to happen when we even closed our eyes for a nap. We had a 3-year-old we were taking care of. We had our master cut in two. We had two people who became knights because it's like you're 14. How are you a Jedi Knight all of a sudden?
Hmm.
That's me. It's just more like
Yeah.
the Jedi is a religion we just saw it get just pew pew pewed away. I want to see it just
Yeah.
destroyed and destructured, and that's just me as just someone who wants to see a different take on that night. And then with
Yeah.
Jabba the Hutt, it's like, I've seen him so much. I don't know anything about this guy. Let's have some fun with him. Like I like The Godfather. I like Goodfellas to a degree. I've seen other crime movies. It's like it always made me think like, how is this fat bastard this good? How
Hmm.
is Boba Fett bow down to this man? How did no one thought of Sliss? It took Leia to choke him out out of
Yeah.
all. I mean, I'm not, and this is not saying about anything down about Leia's character, but it took Leia of all people to choke him out. And yet this guy had such a presence on Tatooine, had such a name in the galaxy where again, Han, the most badass dude in the galaxy, the Rebel Alliance couldn't even protect him. I want to
Hmm.
know what made Jabba the Hutt this feared dude. Like the intelligence on this man was like a fucking 11. It's
Yeah.
like the Joker. It's like the Joker. It's like, how did he get all these guys to work with him on the bank heist when he was going to kill them all? Like that's charisma number fucking 12.
Hmm.
That's just me. And I just don't want, and for me, I just don't want the Skywalker name involved. I
Yeah.
just want
We both agree on that one.
Star Wars. It is a limited universe in the way people are not seeing the expansion of what you could do with it and have fun with it.
Hmm.
I just at the same time though, it's just me like, hey, I kind of like to see just a couple of things kind of like fledged out maybe for my own personal entertainment. I guess
Yeah.
that's just maybe that's what a fanboy is for Star Wars. You just have personal entertainment ideas.
I mean, in some way, I mean, when I hear your like Jedi on the Run pitch, it does kind of remind me of like Andor, which is like, hey, let's have a different look at the rebellion. Like,
Oh God,
here's what it would realistically take to get a rebellion
no,
like running and maintained. And how why is the Empire so bad? Of like, why did this need to be overthrown? What was so evil about it? Um,
I am glad Andor and Rogue One fixed the stormtrooper problem of like they always miss like, oh no, these stormtroopers are scary.
yeah,
Rogue One and Andor stormtroopers were like they were killing people.
yeah, the long arm of the Empire. Yeah, like it just yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Even even the good guys, the architect of the rebellion said, of course people have to suffer. People have to die and suffer for there to be change. And I'm going to make sure a lot of people get killed so we can get things back on track. And it's like, he's got a point because I
He
guarantee
does.
our founding fathers did some fucked up shit to the British.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dukes and duchesses living in America, and they're dead.
Yeah.
Dave
America's
Filoni, please
favorite
make this.
piece of yeah. Hey, Dave Filoni, remember you are now in control of America's favorite piece of anti-fascist art.
Yeah,
Um, don't lose sight of
please don't.
that. Don't let Disney corrupt you into losing sight of that. Um, if they try, quit your job, and I'll actually have more respect for
Yeah, make your own.
you.
No, that's because, well, you said it right. Star Wars has been the main anti-fascism pulp culture thing from since what was it, the late 60s, early 70s? I forget, was it 67? I forget when New
77 is when it came out.
Oh wow. So 70 since 77, Star Wars has been the main American pulp culture of anti-fascism because the Rebel Alliance was the Viet Cong and the Empire was us. That's how
That's what George Lucas said.
and he's the
Yeah.
creator. You can't argue it.
Yep.
And you watch it as a kid, you start watching Star Wars, you're like, yeah, awesome, woo, we're getting the best. And then when you get older, you're just like, fuck. You
Yep.
just say fuck, especially
Hmm.
during the Senate scenes in the prequel trilogy. Like that and
This
that
is how
monologue,
democracy dies with
that,
thunderous applause.
that monologue with the Emperor and how, oh, even better yet, after Mace Windu's killed, once more the Sith shall rule the galaxy,
Mhm.
and we shall have peace. Oh yeah, that scared everyone in the theater. Dude, when he said that, I was like, oh my God. I got so scared at him saying peace.
Yeah.
I I think about that when the villain says we'll finally have peace. I'm like, this is not what I grew up on.
Yeah. It's kind of like it's got the misappropriation of the concept of peace to achieve imperial ends.
Yep.
Um, yeah, there's some brilliant stuff in the prequels mixed in with bad story structure, underdeveloped characters, cringe dialogue. I'll say my favorite line from the prequels is it's Chancellor Valorum, played by the late great Terrence Stamp, saying, "Would you confer a motion to allow us to form a committee to pon to investigate the validity of your accusation?"
Yeah,
This
yeah.
like word salad line but which I think George Lucas had a habit of overwriting dialogue, but that line is fucking brilliant because it's like I could see like Chuck Schumer saying saying a sentence like that, or Pete Buttigieg,
Any politician doesn't ask this.
like a lot of mainstream Democrats would say shit like that, like we need to adhere to the procedure. Um, which will give us an excuse to not actually do anything, but will give the illusion that we're doing something to make things better so that you'll vote for us next election.
Oh,
Like it's such a bro like you see that like his like deadpan delivery, which his sort of bored as fuck delivery mixed in with like that complicated line of dialogue that I'm sure I butchered. Like it's just like that type of like complacent liberalism
yeah,
like distilled into one sentence.
yeah. Don't forget Jar Jar's little speech in the second one to give the Chancellor more power. You're just like, oh God, like,
It's all Jar Jar's.
well, no, when you look at the prequel trilogy Senate scenes, you're just like, oh, oh, come
This is
on.
how it starts.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, now we've been looking at you look at C-SPAN the last 5 years. You're like, wait a second, I've seen this movie.
Like they're like, oh, I didn't want my Star Wars in my real life.
I
I didn't want my
I've
real
seen
life.
this movie. I know how this plays out. George Lucas told me. Uh, all
Yeah.
right.
Star Wars.
That's our Star Wars shoot the shit.
Funny, I know we said some negative things about you, but it was just as fans. We don't personally hate you. We
Mhm.
just ask you to stop playing with your toys. That's all we ask. That's all we ask. But other than
May,
that, please consider our ideas.
Star Trek encompasses like 1100 years of history at this point. The latest TV show takes place in the 32nd century. Expand. It won't hurt to expand.
No. And
Have
also, too, have the balls to do some MA stuff like the Knights of the Old Republic.
hmm
A lot of bad stuff happened. People don't realize the Knights of the Old Republic is dark.
Um, yeah, and also subscribe to our Patreon, Mr. Filoni, if you want. We
Ooh,
really appreciate it. I know you can afford it.
yeah, now no,
It's
especially
only
now.
$5 a month.
Hey, he's got the new paycheck.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, have us.
Uh,
Well, hey, we will happily do a episode a week on Star Wars stuff for you if you have to.
yeah, like if you want us to guest star in an official Star Wars podcast,
We'll do it. Oh God.
give us your conduct guidelines, and we'll make sure we adhere to it.
I promise I'll drink blue milk.
Yeah. We'll do that. We'll talk about our fonder memories. Yeah, and we'd be happy to do that. In the meantime, thank you for listening to this episode of Give Us the Launch Codes. I hope it was a nice reprieve.
Yeah. Instagram, TikTok, the platform formerly known as Twitter, and don't forget YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for always joining us on Give Us the Launch Codes. We're just having a lot of fun here, but don't worry. Very soon in March, we'll be getting back into the news of the world. I'm Tom.
I'm Travis.
Good afternoon, good evening, and may the force be with you.
Bye, everyone.